Hey everyone, welcome to our second episode of our Vault Talk podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Courier Heisenberg, also known as Chandler. And we also have two special guests. One of them is my ex-admin for the page. He went by the name Boone. And then we
Hey,
have
how's it going?
Andrew. He is
Yo.
from Dog Meat's Best Friend. So let's just go ahead and start off the podcast with something relatively new in the Fallout community/universe, which is Fallout Shelter. So, go ahead and tell your thoughts on Fallout Shelter, you guys. What your thoughts are on the game?
Should I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I have an Android phone, so I got it recently. Maybe I don't know when it was. When this will be posted, it'll be at least a week or so.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got it really late because of having Android, but it wasn't. It was something that was cool, but it wasn't something that really interests me because it's basically, I don't know, The Sim/SimCity, in a vault. Which I mean is a cool idea, but I don't know. Wasn't the most interesting thing. So I got it, and I am really not a big mobile phone user, as in games. I have a decent amount of games on my phone, but I don't really play them at all. I usually just go on the internet or something. So I tried it out, and I actually did pretty well, because a lot of people said it was really difficult. Maybe just after, like, the rad roach attacks and stuff like that. But I think it's pretty fun. It looks really good for a mobile game, and it's a fun idea, but I could see after a while you just kind of get bored of it, and caps are really hard to get because I used up all my caps buying a ton of things, and then I sent people out into the wilderness or the wasteland, and then they would get maybe 2 caps every minute or so, and that's nothing. You have to have, like maybe 1,000 caps to build a good area, and I guess you could pay for them if you wanted to. But if not, you just have to wait so long to get anything useful. So I just think it's fun if you're good with mobile games. Like, for a mobile game, it's really fun that are like this. But it's not really for me.
Yeah. So, let me just go ahead and give my opinion really quick on it. So I think it was kind of
Step in here.
hyped up and
I'll
whatnot.
explain, because I really wanted to talk about this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do what? Okay.
Go ahead.
Alright. Of course, I stayed up real late, and I watched the Bethesda conference live, and I was super hyped when they said they're coming out with a mobile game. And, and of course, me being a big Fallout fan, I was hyped. But when I got it, it didn't have that Fallout feel to me, because the big Fallout feel to me was exploring the wasteland. And here you're just stuck in a vault. You're just stuck in a vault and you're managing it. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. It was okay. But the big problem, me having an Android, it's been crashing lately. It won't let me get on. So I think Bethesda needs to get up on their mobile games, especially on the Android, and fix that a little bit for the users can actually play it.
Talking about that, an experience, because me and Dakota, I remember we both stayed up to wait for the release of it, and we were up till like very early in the morning playing Minecraft together, because we both have Android phones. And I remember telling him, oh, dude, I saw this tweet from Pete Hines saying that he doesn't even know when it's going to be released. So we were both just up all night until the morning. And then next thing you know, it comes up that it's released, and we both got it, and we started playing it. But then I noticed that I didn't know how to play. So what I was doing throughout the game, my first playthrough on my first vault was I was just putting random vault dwellers everywhere without knowing that I had to use their traits or whatever to set them to certain locations in the vault. So I was just throwing random people everywhere and switching them, and I was like, why is everyone dying? And I was just like, screw this game, and I deleted it. And then I was like, wait a minute, I have to put them where they need to go. And I did it, and of course now the vault's pretty successful, but yeah, it's pretty good, I guess.
I did the same thing. I was putting, like, pregnant ladies in, like, the power stations when they needed strength, and they were like, I don't feel so good. And I was like, shut up and work, slave. You peasant. You don't tell me what to do. Like, I really didn't understand it, and that also, I can agree with you on that, Carlos. So.
Mm-hmm.
But now, talking about Fallout with the actual Wasteland, Fallout 4, how do y'all feel about the new creation kit that they're using to put the world together, as I can say?
I would say I haven't really researched much on the creation kit or anything like that, but the Wasteland itself, just commenting on how it looks amazing because the looks of it, because Fallout 3, at least Fallout 3, going off of Bethesda's work, the Wasteland, I mean, some of it does look really good, and for a Wasteland, but a lot of the time it's mainly just gray and everything like that. But I mean, this one looks great because I mean it's all colorful, which I really like. It's like comparing if you've ever played Borderlands versus Borderlands 2, where Borderlands 1 has almost no color, or if the color's there, it's really dull. Borderlands 2 has color everywhere. It's like that, and I really like that. That they added the color, because then it shows that, because Fallout's about, it's not just about a nuclear wasteland, it's about that there's still people around. Rebuilding. Yeah, so there's different civilizations and stuff still there. So I think the fact that there's color and everything, it looks really, really good, because it shows you, hey, the wasteland, I mean, yes, it's a really harsh place, but there's still trees, there's still areas and stuff. There's still people, mainly. There's still a city that you can go around and you can shop in and everything like that.
See, this is my thing. In Fallout 3, it didn't have enough rebuilding. And in Fallout New Vegas, it had too much. There's no irradiated water. You know, the cities aren't down. It's really human-to-human conflict. While as Fallout 3 was man versus nature. How am I going to survive? How am I going to make it to the next day? And so I think Fallout 4 took both of those, evened them out, and obviously got rid of that green tint and orange tint, so it's very colorful. And I think Fallout 4 is going to deliver as far as the rebuilding part and the hope, but there's still that drab society, you know?
Yeah. Okay, but let me just butt in really quick about my opinion on this. People who say Fallout 4 is basically like a reamp of Fallout 3, you have to remember Fallout 3 was created by Bethesda, then New Vegas was created by a different gaming company, so of course Fallout 4 was made by Bethesda again, so of course they're going to have the same feel if they were created by the same gaming company. So what I feel is that throughout the years that Bethesda was creating Fallout 4, they saw Fallout New Vegas and they decided, well, Fallout 4 definitely needs a little more color than Fallout 3 had. So I feel like Fallout 4 is sort of a mixture of both. So Fallout 3 has like the very wasteland feel, but at the same time it has the very creative world, and you're just in a new civilization that's forming. Because in Fallout New Vegas, there's civilization, there's raiders, there's casinos, there's actual like stuff that you have a feeling of the old world, as in rather than in like Dakota said in Fallout 3, it's like you have to survive basically.
Yeah.
And that I totally agree with you, Carlos. Totally agree.
But there's also the radiation storms and the glowing sea, and they said that's going to give you more of that Fallout 3 look to it.
Yeah, the really yellow area where they, in the trailer I know it had it where they had the Death Claw just kind of walking for a second, and then, because that was like, but then I think they've released a few more areas, pictures or video or whatever you call it, of it, that I think that's going to be an exciting area to go to, because it's kind of, you have your Fallout area where it's just kind of like rebuilding area, then you'll probably have the wasteland, then you'll also have your glowing sea, so you get a good mix of everything there.
Yeah, like what I was saying earlier is how I feel that it's like surrounding the main civilization area, like in, let's say, the middle is New Vegas, then the surrounding is Fallout 3, you know? Beyond the small civilization area where you see, like, huge buildings and you see that, outside of that is, like, the radiated sea, you have everything else, and that's, like, the Fallout 3 feeling, and as you get closer into the middle of it, there's more civilization, there's robots, there's probably the Brotherhood of Steel, there's other factions, but then outside of that, you have, like, the lower class stuff, like raiders, and then people coming in with caravans and stuff like that, you know? So I feel it's going to be like a mixture of both worlds. You're going to see the mixture of it in there. And even then, Todd Howard mentioned how there's a lot of detail. So, of course, you have detail like traveling to the radiated sea, and how he said that there's going to be, if it rains, the rain is going to be radiated and whatnot. So I think that's really cool.
Oh, I think that's really awesome. And I want to be able to see the civilizations because something that was in New Vegas that I guess kind of disappointed me, or I mean not disappointed, just it could be so much better, is how there's New Vegas, which is a giant city and it's a great place, but then right when you step out of it, it's just Freeside or I think, what was it, West New Vegas or something, and then that area around the Thorn and everything. I wish that place, those areas, played a bigger part in the story, because I feel like the coating to the cake in the middle, but then it's so thin and they don't really talk about it. So I think that's a really cool, where there's slums and everything, and you go there and then the people aren't well off, and I wish there were more characters or more quests there, because I know there were a few, but I wish you could become friends with the people in that area too, and it'd be more fleshed out. How maybe in Fallout 4, because you'll have Boston, and then maybe if you go right outside of Boston, there'll be a slums area, and they put a lot of detail there, or there's a lot of people, because I think it'd be cool if you even had a follower there, because then you could go there and then they could talk about everything that's happening. Because I know, at least side note, I think the followers will probably be a bigger role, because if you've seen, and I think it was QuakeCon, people talked about, because they didn't have the footage released, or maybe it is somewhere, I think, where there's that other follower, she's this reporter, or she acts like a reporter for something to get you and her into the baseball stadium there.
Oh.
If you've heard about that. I read something about it. And then, she's a follower. I don't know what she does. I forget her name. I think it starts with a P or something. But I think that's cool if you get to know your followers more, because with, like, for instance, with Veronica, you get to know about her, even though this is New Vegas, you get to know her past, you get to know about Christine and the Brotherhood of Steel, their relationships with each other. And, for instance, if you blow up the Brotherhood of Steel, Veronica will not follow you, which I think is really cool that they add personal story into that. So I think with maybe, I don't know, something, just putting random ideas out there, if Dogmeat, let's say you take Dogmeat to an area, then Dogmeat will remember those, like, what happened back before. Oh, wait, it can't be before the war, because unless Dogmeat was frozen.
If, let's say you're exploring the wasteland, right, and you have Dogmeat as a companion, and, like, usually your dog stays close to you. Like, he starts to wander off, maybe you can follow him, and, like, you'll go to a set of bones, and, like, he'll smell it and look at you or something.
Yeah.
And then, so, like, you're like,
right there,
maybe something.
Like, right there, in going to New Vegas, if you have the Wild Wasteland perk, and you have Rex, if you've done it, I don't know if you've done it, where you travel to a certain area, or you do something, and he starts barking, and you talk to him, and it'll say, "Oh, little Jimmy fell down a well," and you'll go to the well and like you climb down, and you see like bones in the BB gun, and I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that."
Yeah, I like how. I hope they have
never knew that.
Some wacky things, because Fallout has some good humor in some areas.
Definitely.
Like Fallout 1 and 2, even though I haven't really fully played through them, they have some decent dialogue, like funny dialogue and stuff like that. I did hear with Dogmeat, I'm pretty sure this is something that Todd talked about or something, where you can if you find an area, you can tell Dogmeat, hey, go over there in that area, and then Dogmeat will go in and kill everyone while you go off doing something else, and you can meet up with Dogmeat later, and he'll have stuff, like he'll get stuff, or if you see like a gun off in the distance, I don't know, just like a random item or a body, you can go, hey Dogmeat, go up to that body and loot it, and then Dogmeat will go up, take the items from the body, and then come up to you, and then you can get the items. Mm-hmm. So I think that'd be cool if you had other followers, or maybe because you know how you can make a house and stuff like that. So I think it'd be cool if you could recruit a follower and just say, hey, stay in the house and protect it. Yeah, basically where you can split up.
You split up, or you leave them somewhere, but at the same time, you're still connected. So you're still together, but you could split up and say, oh, well, you go raid this part of the store, and I'll go raid this part of the store, but you guys still meet up some way.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then you split the items, or I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Another thing, because I know, the caravan traders in 3 in New Vegas, how they just kind of walk around and you can see them and trade with them. Mm-hmm. I think because I know they have those in 4 if you saw the trailer. I think those are really cool, and I hope they still have I hope they have more fleshed out things, like maybe they only sell food, or maybe they only sell a certain type of weapon or something, but they had this one thing where with your bases, then you could build a certain trading stall, and then with that trading stall, people would come up there every once in a while, and then you could trade with them. Like, they just station themselves there for a while, and then they'd move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or have them have a little story of where they're coming from. Like if you see them just walking up out of nowhere, they'll be like, oh yeah, we're coming down from, let's just give an example, like we're coming up from DC, like this and this is going on down there, so we're just trading up here, something like that, a little story from them.
Mm-hmm. That'd be really cool. Or they're going to an area and they say, oh hey, do you want to come with us? And then maybe they'd fast travel you there or something. I don't know if that'd be too much. Or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
That would be really neat if they did that.
8:30.
Yeah, well,
Andrew has been summoned by the Enclave.
Okay.
Okay, also, speaking of the Enclave, we can probably talk about that more after our intermission, which will be coming up. But staying on topic. With the map, I think it'd be really cool to see certain areas where you want to go in, because I know they talked about how the Brotherhood of Steel has a hangar or something, and it'd be cool
what is that?
If you can go there and say, the Brotherhood of Steel will say, oh hey, only you can come in here if you're part of the Brotherhood of Steel or something.
Yeah, or if you haven't caused any trouble with that faction,
Yeah. Also, I think we've met our time limit at the moment, so we're going to go on an intermission, and we'll be right back to you to deliver more info on this topic. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you then. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. We're transitioning over to 2 topics that we think play a big role in the Fallout franchise, which are factions and relationships with people, including marriage, like in Skyrim, and things like that. So I think I'll start with my personal experience or idea on what factions could play a role in Fallout 4. So I think that it would be cool to see, we're going to see the Brotherhood of Steel, and they have Enclave armor in one of the trailers, so I think it'd be cool to see the Brotherhood and Enclave kind of fight each other.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, because I think they already covered Enclave versus Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 3, and when you look at the armor, it's not present-day Enclave armor. Present-day Enclave armor you saw in Fallout 3. This Enclave armor goes back to Fallout 2. if you look at their armor and that. And I think the armor was just paying homage to the original Fallout. So I don't think that they're making a return in any way, shape, or form.
I think, I can see that in
Yeah.
for that. I would say, would you enjoy it to be back in Fallout 4, like to see the Enclave at all, or would you rather not have them in at all?
See, I would like to see them come back, but in a way, because we already demolished them in Fallout 2. You know, we went to their base, we blew them up, we killed Frank Horgan, or whatever, and then in Fallout 3, you see us fighting the Enclave with Liberty Prime, and we push back their remaining forces and blow up their base again. So then, if they put them in Fallout 4, I don't want to see them as this big thing. I kind of want to see them very scattered, very secluded, and it's very rare. You know, I want it almost like how the Brotherhood of Steel was in New Vegas.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool to see them as really scattered, or maybe you don't even really see them much at all.
Or just an idea, like a real quick type of thing. Well, you know how in Fallout 3, how the Brotherhood of Steel, you see like the outcasts? What if you were to see just like Enclave, like not outcasts, but just like them wandering around, but not really a faction anymore? Like they have the armor and whatnot, but they're just like, they're not part of the Enclave anymore. They're just like roaming around, but you still see them, you know?
Oh, I think that would work. And I think another thing that would be cool would definitely be how if they had ghouls, how they had ghouls in Fallout 3 have their own kind of faction-ish area. If they had one for androids, because they kind of tease that in a trailer with the mysterious stranger character having an android arm. I think that'd be a really, really cool faction to see. Maybe even a follower from it. I don't know how many companions they're going to have in the game. I'd like to see a lot of companions, though, because I like the idea of having a ton of people you can team up with. But androids would be a really cool faction to have. Because, I mean, I think they're going to be at least a few androids scattered about, but having a whole faction would be really interesting, even with its own lore. So, like, you can figure out maybe some of the androids are really old, like from before the war or something. Or I just think in general, seeing things from before the war are cool, but I mean, yeah, if it's an android or a ghoul, then I think that's really cool.
You know what I want to see, since you're bringing up ghouls? I want to see, because I don't want it where the enemies kind of level up, but like, you know, I don't want to see like a rad roach that's like super hard to kill because it just has more health or whatever. I think it would be a cool thing to do with the ghouls and make them a little bit harder as you level up, or just having a harder ghouls is like a ghoul that turned into a ghoul like in power armor or something, you know, like you saw Brotherhood of Steel ghoul. You know, maybe like he had some shredded power armor off and he just runs up and smacks the fuck out of you, you know? I mean, hand slaps the fuck out of you.
Speaking of that, because speaking on that note, if you've noticed in the trailer for Fallout 4, as you see them running towards the vault, you know how you see the Brotherhood of Steel, I believe, with the machine guns or whatever, the heavy guns?
I don't think that's the Brotherhood of Steel, because Brotherhood of Steel is after the war, right?
That was,
maybe it's just they're wearing maybe it's government officials wearing the power armor. I thought.
Well, anyway, either way, like the guys with the power armor, right? When you see them guarding the entrance. What if you were to see like ghouls with the power armor and they like knew how to use the weapons, but they're still the ghouls, you know?
Or would they be friendly or not friendly?
Well, they're ghouls, so not friendly, but they somehow know how to still use the stuff.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to see, because I really liked seeing a few ghouls in Fallout 3 and I think New Vegas, where they're actually friendly.
Yeah.
And they can talk to you. I know they had super mutants like that, but I think it'd be interesting to see a couple friendly super mutants in the game. Because, I don't know, I just like having a ton of different races instead of just having human.
Yeah.
Or, I know one guy on Instagram, Phantom Sun Comics. You've probably heard of him.
Obviously, Phantom
yeah.
Sun Comics. Yeah.
He messaged me. It was actually really early in the morning one time. He said, actually, I've been wondering, how would you think about having it so later in the game you can turn into a super mutant or a ghoul or something like that? And I thought, and I just think that would be pretty cool to have that. One thing I was hoping for before anything was announced, that if it was almost like Skyrim where you could choose your race, so like if you wanted to be a ghoul, if you want to be
I was gonna say that.
a super mutant, I think that'd be cool. But like if you wanted to turn into one, I think that'd add a layer of depth into it, so you could it'd be more player driven instead of just kind of like a set. Oh, you have to do this and everything. I think that would be really, or maybe even if you. Oh, okay, this would be kind of creepy, though, but if there's, like, a vault or something that has super mutants in it, and they say, oh, you can only come in if you're a super mutant, or something like that, so then you have to turn into one to get inside of it.
Well, you see, the problem I have with that is super mutants want to make more super mutants. So I feel like at that point, they would just snatch you up, dip you in FEV, and then pray to fucking God that you turn into one of those atrocities, you know?
Yeah, I think that would make sense.
You know? So I think if you get snatched by one of them, it would be a cool experience. You know, and that's why if you see super mutants, you have to fight to your death so you don't turn into a super mutant.
Yeah, that definitely make things more interesting.
Yeah. So it would add more of a, you know...
yeah, like a little side quest, kind of like you're snatched up by super mutants and they're trying to turn you into a one, and you like have to escape from there and whatnot, you know?
Oh, or maybe they capture you, and then you can do one of two things. One is go with like they're forcing you to become a super mutant, so you can either do what they want you to do, and then they'll be friendly to you, or you can shoot them and then run out of there if you survive.
Yeah, like have multiple options of your choices. Yeah,
I
more choices
would definitely like that.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see more abandoned vaults, but one thing that we haven't really seen that I've been wanting to see is getting into contact with an uncontacted vault. You know? Like getting into a Vault 101, essentially, where they don't know anything of the outside world.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
Be cool if you can make a vault settlement.
Oh, that would be cool.
Connect to other vault settlements. That'd be pretty cool.
Like if you were to find an abandoned vault and just somehow like populate that vault, and then like like essentially have like a little vault and whatnot.
Yeah.
I have a good question. What about if we could, let's say we find a Gex in a vault, what if we could arm it and use it?
Oh, that'd be really
That'd be pretty cool.
Badass.
That would help the like little civilization that you build and whatnot, like a little boost.
Yeah.
Little boost.
Oh, but so speaking about our topic with relationships, I think that'd work a lot with settlements, because if you could have, let's say you have a husband, a wife, etc., or just like, I don't know, dating them. I don't know. Like let's just say a partner. So if you have a partner, maybe, I don't know if they could be follower only or not follower. You could get them to...
Love wins.
You could get them to come back to your base, and then, like, they'd help out, make things, or you go on an adventure with them. Just, like, companions. But maybe there'd be some extra thing, maybe a side quest for them. If you... because that had a lot of replayability. Like if you meet someone and then they go on a side quest, you can go on a side quest with them, like specifically for them. Mm-hmm. I think that would be great. Just if with marriage and stuff.
What was that? I hear someone talking.
Oh, sorry, that's me. My friend just got home.
Oh, okay. Anyway, talking about relationships. Well, it seems logical to me in Fallout, considering Fallout has any logic at all now. If you were to, of course, you can they show how you build civilizations, your little settlements. You build a home. You have caravan. You have protection. Of course, if you're able to be married to someone, have a relationship, why would you not be able to have a child and like raise them essentially? Because how they said that even after the main quest line, you could still roam freely. So it would make sense if you were to be able to have children, raise them, and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Or even adopt children, like in Skyrim. That would be pretty cool.
Oh, that'd be cool. I think what would be neat is if, you could do that, and then they can grow up. I don't know how long it'd take them. And then they can become a follower for you or something.
That would be so
I have
cool.
a question. Can we have sex with companions? I want a super mutant to pound me in the butt, man. That's what I want to do.
That's
Could you imagine that? I mean, they're sterile, so I mean, no condoms, which is a plus.
Why not? But like, what would you get out of it?
I don't know.
You gain health.
You gain radiation too, I guess.
Radiation.
Oh my
You gain
gosh.
radiation, but you also gain love.
Maybe that's how you get into that secret super mutant society.
Oh.
Get butt
You get a little hazing. A little hazing.
little butt floundage by super mutant. I want to see that.
I feel like they would actually add that, not as a big thing, like it'd be an Easter egg or something, but they'd add like a reference to that in the game.
Like guys getting butt flounded by super mutant.
Super mutant. Yes.
You know what I see every time I hear butt flounded by super mutants? I think of Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life.
God damn it. Well, I knew you were going to bring that up.
Our podcast has turned into a Shrek shrine.
You can't never go wrong with Shrek, obviously.
You can't. Oh, okay. getting back on subject. I think having a child would be cool. I mean, I'd probably name my child.
Okay,
Shrek,
right here, where I forgot that I was going to mention this. What if? I know that this is like probably not possible at all, but since you can continue gaming after the main quest line, what if you were to have a child and you raised him, and at the same time the character you're playing as gets older and eventually dies, and you take on the form of the child you raised?
Jeez,
And you
man.
continue playing.
That'd be a really complicated game if it did that.
That'd be pretty crazy, though. That'd be awesome, though. But
Dog meat worked. Like dog meat dies, and then has puppies, and then you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can continue as your offspring and continue roaming and finding new areas in the map. That would be pretty cool, though.
But the thing is, probably
honestly,
mechanically, Fallout, because, I mean, they take place in a year or something. But, I mean, people live for, they live at least, 50 years or so.
Yeah.
So then, I mean, they'd probably have to make it, and a lot happens in 50 years. I mean, look at Fallout 1 and 2. A lot happens between those and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't think that I mean, yeah, you kind of said that you didn't think that they would make it. But, yeah, I don't...
But, yeah, it's just like a little concept.
I think they could make a mod for it.
What if you were to, if you play as the woman and you give birth in the game and...
Yeah. So, you have a child.
Picture of your child.
You know what I want to see?
I like that.
I want to see you raise a kid, right? And then I want you to grow attached to him and then die. Like, the kid will die.
Jeez.
And then, you have to deal with that.
You have to deal with that? That's
So, your character, picks up, an alcohol addiction or something.
Jeez, that's even wow. That's really dark.
I want to see something dark in Fallout, man.
I do. I want to see something dark, but that's pretty dark.
That's sadistic.
Your kid dies and you pick up an alcohol addiction. That would be...
Eat the fetus.
Like that, you're living Fallout.
That's
So, it's survival of the fittest. You have to eat the fetus when you have no more food.
Oh, that's... I don't think they'd go there. I mean, I like how in the pit, even though I haven't done it, or I haven't played the pit, but where you can eat the baby.
You know what?
Or is that,
I couldn't
is that the
eat
pit?
the baby. For some reason, it didn't let me. I saved
I would
up all
so
my
eat the baby.
to eat the baby so I could be immune to radiation. I used my here and now perk for that shit, and I still didn't get to eat the baby.
then you gotta eat. The baby like groceries.
We need to end this now before we escalate to
Before
more.
the FBI comes and talks to us
And
about
wonders
eating.
what we're doing on this podcast.
Okay, we
Jared
took a
Fuller,
turn on
what?
this podcast. I hope. So, update on the podcast. Thank you all for watching. We've had a decent amount of support and everything. That's great. We got a dislike on our last video.
But it's alright.
Yeah.
They hate us because they hate us.
Yeah.
They hate us 'cause-
But I think, so we're going to try sometime to do a broadcast episode. Do a Twitch one. It'd probably last for maybe 2 hours or so. I mean, we'd upload it afterwards.
We should so do that.
Yeah. So we're going to try that. I don't know if it'll be next week, except this, or wait, this will be posted next week, so. But we're going to try to do that in the future, not necessarily at any specific date. So yeah, tune in for that. Tune in for our next episode. Thanks to Dakota and Andrew for showing up. You'll see them in later episodes, unless they get arrested for eating babies.
Hey now,
course.
come on.
Yeah.
Well,
So
what happened?
Shrek. Molesting Shrek for some reason.
yeah, stealing Shrek movies off of a store or something. So yeah,
Obviously.
thank you for watching. Subscribe, like the video if you like this and you'd like to see more. Follow our Instagram channels. We'll probably have those in the description, or you probably came from Instagram to watch this. So yeah,
One last thing, if I could add in.
Yeah.
If you guys can, leave some suggestions, questions, tips for our next podcast of what you'd like to hear us. Of what you'd like to hear us talk about in our future podcast. Any ideas and stuff like that. We're open to any ideas you guys have. This podcast is for you guys, really, to
Yeah.
entertain you guys.
it's
so,
what
yeah.
you want. It's our opinions on things. And we want, I mean, if you ask
Right.
questions, we're not going to spend like the whole time just answering them. We want to talk about things and, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Can I add? Can I add?
Oh,
I
yes.
definitely want y'all to give the tip.
No,
Tips
you
is-
can't say
is
anything.
smart. So definitely leave those tips, man.
Yeah, leave.
Please
leave
give
the
it a
tips.
like and stand by for more episodes.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
podcasts.
Definitely.
Yeah, we hope you like this. If you have suggestions for what we should talk about, that'd be great, and we'll probably give you a shout out if you do. So yeah, we'll see you next episode. Thank you for watching.
And please stand by.
Yeah. Bye.
Woo!